Do you think that's true? Do you think it actually helps Trudeau if you have Trump in the White House?
I'm not convinced. Canadians understand the importance of our relationship with the United States. I mean, yes, we definitely, over the history of our politics, have had more people who tended to view the world like Justin Trudeau. And we've very rarely, if ever, had anybody of the likes, I don't think anybody's had the likes of Donald Trump. So we're more comfortable, generally speaking, with the Trudeau lean as it is towards more social programs and more open economy and more respect for other people's rights. But at the same time, if it does come down to that, and if Mr. Trudeau is still around, if he hasn't announced that he's already stepping down by the time the new U.S. president comes in, it could go the other way, Todd, because enough Canadians could say, well, look, we can't afford to be just another one of the countries that Donald Trump's going to be having a trade war with. For us, it will be devastating for our economy overall. So that could actually work out, I think, in a lot of people's minds anyway. If they were hesitant, it might actually wind up helping Mr. Poilievre, certainly in the minds of some voters.
Hey, I've got one other question for you. You know, the way the Americans view Justin Trudeau, I mean, no doubt they can read the polls too, Tom. What do you think?
Yep. They can. And, you know, so that's why he's going to be spending a lot of time with Democrats and speaking with like-minded people. But yeah, people who are making their bets on these sorts of things, not just in the United States, but in a lot of countries that we trade with. Look, in the lead up to the 2015 campaign, when I faced Mr. Trudeau the only time I did, and he won a clear victory over Stephen Harper and over me, there were, really serious leaders from foreign countries who wanted to sit down and meet because the polling showed that we had a chance at the NDP at the time of forming the next Canadian government. So they're just doing their due diligence. They're just meeting the people who might have an important role in determining how their country deals with ours. We're a G7 nation. We are an important player on the world stage. No, we're not, Russia or China or India or the United States, but we are an important player. And that's understood now around the world because we're also a country that deals so much with the United States. We're seen as having greater knowledge of how to deal with the United States. And that can be an advantage for us. But I'll tell you right now, there are people in other countries looking at the polls and they're going to be asking for meetings with a certain Pierre Poilievre because they see him as being the likely winner of the next election if the polls are to be believed. Now, there's an old saying that a week is a long time in politics, so you can imagine, we've got a lot more than that between now and the next election. Will Mr. Trudeau stick around? That's the key question right now, and I do think that there are a lot of people inside the Liberal Party, certainly people that I talk to, who have been telling me that they've been quite direct with Mr. Trudeau, saying, look around, look at who's out there. I mean, I know that Mr. Trudeau will probably try to back Chrystia Freeland. He owes her a lot, but there's Mark Carney waiting in the wings, and there are a lot of people in the Liberal Party and a lot of people on Bay Street who would look very kindly on the arrival of somebody of the caliber of Mark Carney. The fact that the Conservatives have tried to bring him into parliamentary committees is an indication that the Conservatives are very worried that Mark Carney might be their adversary in the next election, and the Liberals know that. So stay tuned, Todd. Lots of politics between now and the next writ drop.